Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on episode 232 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, here with Trevor, and we have Damon back finally.
I'm back. I think I forgot about everything, though. That's the problem. Like, I took notes, but I think I might have forgotten about the trip. So much has happened in between the trip and now.
Did you miss us, Damon?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, as much as I can miss people I don't really see that often, sure.
That's fair.
Yeah, I've never met you in person, so I don't know if I could ever miss you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wait, you can't miss people unless you've met them in person? Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's different, I guess, is the not to say that I wouldn't miss talking to you, but it's different.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've had an interesting, again, my son has booked 2 shows, which is like kind of crazy for me.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, so he's got one in Virginia, and then he's got one in Raleigh. So we're going to be busy. And then he's also got 3 official visits in September for swim. And like our whole like swim school thing has now gotten a little like crazy because it's not just like school swim. Now it's like school swim music, right? So like we have to find him a spot where he can accomplish all of them. And it may, be something where he's looking at maybe a school for that swim that's not as intense so he can do all of those things. So it's kind of put a little bit of a wrench in there. So we'll see. But yeah, it's been interesting for sure. So let's see. So I gotta go right into Dollywood, I guess.
Yeah, I assumed that you usually like to start off with your.
I do. It's funny though. Like I said, I kind of like when I was thinking back about it, I kind of forgot about a lot of stuff because it was like
2 weeks ago now.
Not only that, I'm also planning next year's vacations now, and I'm already dialed into like, well, we're talking about, are we going to Vero or are we going to like Disney? Like, how are we using our points? And then it was like, it turned into a conversation of like, well, we've never been to Busch Gardens Tampa. Can we do that? Do we stay in Tampa? Do we go to Vero for a couple days and then go to Tampa and Busch Gardens after that on the way home? It turned into a little bit. And it all really started with this Dollywood trip because we were gone from, the 8th of August to the 13th. Okay. And the kids said it was too long.
Oh, really?
They were like, that's too long. I don't want to do that again.
Wow.
And it's funny because we did the park for 3 days, 2 days at the regular park, 1 day at the water park, and then had a day break. And we got there pretty late on Tuesday. I think that was probably our mistake, was getting there Tuesday late rather than Wednesday early.
How far of a drive is it for you?
About 5.5, 6.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not so bad. I mean, I know it's closer for you, but it's not bad.
Is it closer? Is it that much closer for me?
Yeah, because you're west.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm further south though.
Yeah, I think it might be a little closer. You can look that up. But
I'm gonna look that up while you're talking.
So we made a huge mistake though in one room. It was terrible in terms of like, it was just bad, and kind of knew it would be bad, but there was a lot of money savings going on. But it definitely was not worth the money savings. And even the kids said that, maybe they would have not, had such a difficult time staying as long if we had 2 rooms. Because that's kind of what happened. The one bathroom is really where it was a tragedy. Because I forgot that, like, my middle son does not do this, but my oldest and my youngest, they might take an hour shower.
Really?
Like, yeah. Like they just shower. Like it's a shower. And I'm like,
my
okay, like,
too.
Yeah. And it's not even like, they can be ready quickly. Like getting everyone out was just an absolute disaster every time we need to go somewhere. Actually, it got so bad that like not everyone started coming with us places. Like when we were like, hey, we're going to Rita's, because again, right, we need to go to Rita's because we don't have one by us. So we're like, hey, we're going to Rita's. And the boys were like, nah. Okay. Like, all right, I guess we're rolling, right? Like, so we did some of that. But it was talk about the things that we did outside of the parks first, I guess. So we did the mountain coaster, which again, we had not done the last time we were there, but we did the time before that at a different one. So there is, I want to say there's 3 with 1 on the way, or maybe there's 2 with 1 on the way, something along those lines. But, we were able to get some good coupons for the one.
So you're talking, this is an alpine coaster? This is the gravity. Okay, so
yep.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah, so the one that we did, we really enjoyed. And like I said, it worked out well because we had a discount. There's a lot of discounts in Dollywood if you just keep looking, for everything. We were able to get discounts at restaurants, all sorts of places. Right?
Damon, on the alpine coaster, you use the brake at all? Or you go for the whole way?
No. But I will tell you that this one, we went for the speediest one. That was kind of the goal. There was some discussion about the longest one versus the speediest one. I'm like, dude, it's the speediest one. There's no question about it. So they actually tell you how fast you're going. And I think we're 26 miles an hour, I want to say. 26, 28, something along those lines. So it was definitely fun. I enjoyed it. So I will set the stage, though, by saying that my oldest girlfriend came with us, and she is not a ride person at all, which we found out rather quickly. So even at the coaster, it was we're like, dude, you got to go last. No one's trying to stay behind you. But this coaster, what I really liked about it was when you get to kind of the spots where they kind of pull you up, and normally you just go. These you could kind of chill. So instead of being pushed forward, especially if somebody was slow in front of you, the one that we went to, you got to the top and you could be like, all right, I'm just going to brake here for a second to make sure I don't catch the person in front of me, which I thought was really good. And there was also at least 4 of those spots where you were getting pulled up. So it wasn't like a big pull and then one down. It was like a pull down, pull down, pull down, kind of up.
So for lift hills kind of thing.
Yeah. So that was nice. And like I said, I really did enjoy the fact that you could, not have to worry about the person in front of you because you could kind of just, keep yourself up there and eyeball yourself. The one thing I enjoy about the whole Dollywood area, and even, when we went to Branson, the rules are not as hard and fast as they are at other amusement parks. It's hey, you want to sit up there and wait for a second? They're not worried about pushing through those people because it's a smaller sort of venue. And, it was, like I said, no one was up there going, no, you got to go, or pulling you along automatically. It was oh, I'm just going to sit up there and wait, and it is what it is. So that was fun. We did that one day, and that was kind of our down day, which again, these kids are not really about that. They're yo, can we do stuff? Can we do stuff? It's okay, well, hold on. Things are expensive. Let's, let's just do one thing today. So that I think also was tough. So
Did you throw out a money doesn't grow on trees to them?
No, I would never do such a thing. I would never do such a thing. But, we did do shopping one day, and there was, at the island, which is that spot in the middle that has the Ferris wheel. So we did do that. But we looked at doing either a zip line or something else, but it's just so expensive. I had too many people there because, with 6 of us, zip line was almost $1,000. And I can't I can't do that.
That's rough. That's a lot.
Yeah. Especially because dinners were, cheaper than Disney or stuff like that, but it was still not super cheap when you have 6 people. So we also went out with, Chris and Juanita. They met us for dinner. And this is what I found the most interesting. So we were looking to go through and find places to eat, right? So you would say, hey, restaurants near me, you would sort them, from, best, to worst or whatever, you want to do. And I'd go through the list, and that was fine. Now, they had given me one recommendation that we went to, which we really enjoyed. And it was really nice because the waitress gave us a discount just because, which I was like, okay.
That's totally giving you discounts?
Yeah, I did enjoy that. So that was good. We also ate at weird hours because, we were oh, it's 4:00. Let's go eat. So maybe that had something to do with it as well. Hold on one sec.
You got a matinee.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I had a little cough. So we did that. But what I found interesting was that when we ended up asking them to come to dinner, which was, super awesome that they made that trip. Now, I've seen them a few times now because when they came to Durham for that soccer game, we also had breakfast. So we've seen them a few times. And what was really interesting was that, they said, hey, well, we could go to one of these places because, they had asked, well, where do you want to go? So I don't know, your world, you let me know where you want to go. And they gave me 5 restaurants to choose from, right? Now, what was so interesting is these were 5 restaurants that I had never seen on any of the, like, me searching for food places to eat at all. Okay. But they were all within the same confines of what I was looking for. So, like, there were 4-8s. Well, how am I not getting a 4-8 close by me when it was just kind of weird? So they gave us places to eat, which we enjoyed all of them. They were great.
Nice.
Method for dinner was wonderful. But, like, it was almost like, why didn't we see those places before? It was kind of weird. I found it weird because they fit the criteria of what I was looking for, but couldn't find them. So
that is kind of weird. Like, yeah. Like where have these places been all the times we've come?
Exactly, because there's places that when we go next time, we would definitely go to. So the hotel, though, the Dreammore, is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I love the Dollywood stuff. I will say that their customer service far surpasses Disney at this point. It's not even close. I mean, it is so ridiculously nice there, and everyone is so ridiculously nice. It's almost unreal, I would tell you. So we, again, we stayed at the hotel. Everyone was super nice, and they did s'mores every day in the pit, like they had a fire pit out back. Now, again, this is definitely at a smaller scale for sure, but it was nice that you didn't have to pay for any of that. It was just kind of included within. So, it was funny. Like, we were always like, oh, well, we have to be home for s'mores. Or they do Dolly's pink lemonade every night where you can just get cups of lemonade and things like that for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, well, we always had to be home for that. Like, we always had, at the hotel. We always had to be at the hotel for s'mores and lemonade. Yeah. Always had to be back. So yeah, they also have the trolley to the parks. So that's nice. And the water park is actually right next to the Dreammore. Now, they are building a new Hearthstone, I think, something like that. I don't know. They're building that right next to the Dreammore, kind of expanding a little bit. And we're really excited for that. We're actually going to book next year because we're going to do a room in each of them. Again, we're never doing one room again. We're going to do a room in each of them. Now, my son did fit on the bunk beds. They were way bigger than the ones in the tree houses at Disney. So he was fine with that, which was good. Actually, my oldest and his girlfriend were able to fit in the bottom bunk. So my daughter at least had her own bed this go around. That was definitely a win. And we were pretty high up. Now, fireworks had stopped by that time of the year, but it was still, like I said, great experience. The food there at the resort is very good. It was my 50th, and we ended up staying for that Sunday for my birthday. We ended up doing a breakfast there, and it was so good. You know how buffets now, a lot of the times, even when we went to the buffet at the Gaylord Palms, which I also love, there's no meat station anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, it's kind of been cut out of a lot of places, I think, as a cost savings.
Because eggs are easy.
Yeah. I mean, so they had a carving station, which was really good. They had everything. They had donuts, French toast, the whole thing. But it was...
Once I have an omelet station, I'm good.
Yeah, I thought that too, until you're like, yeah, it would be good if there was some sort of carving meat as well.
Sure.
But anyway, so, we had the cinnamon bread because, as everyone says, you have to have that, which it's fine. It is one of those things you have to eat when it's warm, or you might as well forget about it. So our first day, I think, did we do the water park? And then I think we did the water park the first day because the weather was nice. Gosh, I don't even remember. Like I said, it's only been 2 weeks, but I don't remember if we did water park, or park, water park. I think we did water park. So here's the thing about the water park. I love it. We were on, there's these slides that are where you have the neoprene mats, and they're racing slides. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so they have both of them. They have the ones that are open, that are just kind of the humps, and then they have these ones which are in tubes. Okay. So there's, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there 6 at the top? There might be 6 at the top, and they're kind of high up there. So we go down, and it was fast. So fast that I couldn't even fathom what was going on the first time, right? It was just so fast. But I tell you that there was nobody at any of the parks, okay? So absolutely nobody.
Totally.
Nobody. Totally dead. So, especially that first day we're at the water park. We actually ended up going to the water park twice. So we did go the first day. And we go to, that ride. And I'm like, this could be the best water ride ever. Now, my elbow got absolutely destroyed. Like, cut, bleeding, didn't matter.
Well, you're like rubbing up against the plastic.
Yes, because it was so fast. I couldn't even keep my arms in.
Yeah.
I woke up so we went for 2 days to the water park. I woke up after the second day at the water park so sore, like I had done a triathlon and lifted after it, because I was trying to like keep them in, because we started then playing for points, right? Who's fastest down. Like, again, here's the other thing. You're up at the top and those rides. You could run and hop in, right?
There's like no supervision. There's
supervision, but it's like supervision within limits. So it's not like Action Park where like it's a total free for all, but it's like, hey man, don't get crazy, but like if you want to put your knee up there and give yourself a push off, like we're okay. Where you go to like the Disney ones and they're like, everyone lay down flat, put your feet on the back of the mat, and then they hold on. Yeah, it's not like that. It's a little bit more of a free for all, which I enjoyed. But yeah, that ride was probably one of my favorite water rides I've actually ever ridden. Even though it hurt me and I have a scar. And I show the kid, like, because I have a scar on my elbow from it, which is even like awesomer, I will say.
It's like a burn, right?
Yeah, it's like a burn.
I've gotten one of those on the water slide before. It is the worst.
But here's the thing. We rode that probably over the 2 days, probably 20, 30 times.
Yeah.
So it's like ingrained in there now. Like it's not going anywhere.
You're just going to have that for the rest of your life now.
Oh, absolutely. Again.
Like an Action Park scar. It
is actually, it is like an Action Park scar. So then let's talk about the park. So what I found the most interesting, the funniest thing to me. So, again, there's this trolley. It's at the front of the hotel. Now, I don't remember if we were still stuck in the room. I think we were in the room because one of the kids was probably showering. Here's the other thing. They shower before they work out. Like they shower before going to the water park. I don't understand that. Like I can't fathom that at all. Every day of the summer, my son would shower. My oldest, when he was home from college, and then go to the gym. Dude, you're going to the gym. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. They shower before. Anyway, so we were running a little late for whatever reason. So the girls were down there waiting for the trolley already. And it was the one day that, like, we could have waited for a second trolley, but, like, there was a little bit of a line. So you don't know if we were going to get on that trolley. Probably would have gotten on that trolley anyway. So, we're there and we're kind of talking to them. And again, the person that I am, I'm not trying to, like, cut in line, right? That's just not my jam. Like I was like, hey, we'll go to the back and, whatever. We'll meet you. Yeah. So, my wife's like, why? And then so I just said, all right. So I asked the lady behind, because there was a lady with her daughter and two daughters, and they were older. Like, so the lady was whatever age, but the daughters were probably like, I don't know, 17, 18, maybe 20. Who knows? I can't even fathom understanding what age girls are now, but like somewhere between 11 and 40, right? That's what I would say.
Somewhere in between birth and 40 years old.
Yes, somewhere in there. They were talking, so, not necessarily birth and 40, but okay.
Okay.
So, fair enough, and I say to the lady, I said, hey, do you mind? Like, I said, I have no problem going to the back of the line. She goes, this is exactly what she said. She goes, of course you can go. This isn't Disney. It's not like that here.
I don't know what that means. What is that?
That means like I'm not going to freak out.
You're not going to get punched in the face.
Yeah. So I'm not going to have to worry about that. And I was like, okay, alrighty then, here we are. So that was kind of like interesting to me. I do want to say, though, there is an escape room place there that we did not do, because I'm looking through my notes now. I'm kind of a little bit all over the place. There's a Scooby-Doo escape room.
Scooby-Doo escape room.
Exactly.
All over that.
Yeah. Escape rooms are just too expensive for me these days with 6 people. But yes, it looked awesome. So, okay. So we go to the park the first day. And again, because all the kids are back in school on that Monday, it's like empty. So we have fast passes, which we'll call fast passes, right? Old school fast passes. You get a wristband. It's kind of more like the Busch Gardens aspect, where you have a wristband and you can ride certain rides once. They scan it, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And you get that from staying at the hotel, or you could purchase it, but it comes free with the hotel. I think there's 2 versions, but we have the lower version. We used it once, and then it wasn't even necessary because we were riding rides, getting off, and riding rides. They rode Wild Eagle 6 times in a row.
Oh my God.
We rode Mystery Mine, I think like 7 times in a row. And like I was sick. You know, I mean, I was definitely sick, but like,
Worth it?
I don't think I rode it that many times. I think maybe the boys did, because I rode the front row though twice in a row. Like, no problems with that. There's nobody there. Nobody. Like, it was amazing. You could ride anything. There was no waits for anything. So what happened is we just kind of finished. Like, we were like, wait,
you got too much done. Yeah.
We're done. Yeah.
Like you got enough done and you were just done with the park.
Yeah. So I would say the new Big Bear ride is very good. It's a little bit more than Slinky Dog, and it's long. But here's where the missing part is, right? So you have these two kind of tunnels in Big Bear, and it's a launch ride. But you have these two tunnels, and there's like bear noises. I don't know what else to say, right? Bear noises.
Just growls.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But as you're, and the queue is fine, right? More almost like a Verbolten queue, like where it's good, but you can definitely like feel like it's a queue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, okay, but here's the thing: there's nothing like, where is this bear? Like,
wait, you didn't see a picture of a bear at any point or something?
What I'm saying is like the
Like
ride is about
charm.
chasing this bear, and I get the point of you're chasing it, but don't catch it. But like, why is there not like a shadow of a bear, like a bear animatronic? Like, you could have given me anything, and that's where it just misses a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what the miss is in general, even though the rides are really good. Like Mystery Mine, I think, is well done. I give that one, a plus, but I look at something like Firecracker or whatever that one is called. I mean, that's good too, because this one was like, man, like we're out in the middle of like the woods. I get it, but can you give me something? But the ride was very enjoyable, very smooth, and it was just really well done from a ride standpoint, how they kind of, did the twists and turns. I thought it was well done. They also have this Dragon Flyer-ish ride, which is one of those coasters where like, your feet dangle, you clip in and, you go upside down and all that. That one was really good as well. But it again, it's this theming is just
a straight roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the Wildwood Grove, which in general is themed, right? I get we're themed like in the mountains, and we are in the mountains, so it's kind of like, theming itself is, where you are. You know what I mean? You don't have to change it. Like, it's not like you're in Florida and you're trying to go to a fantasy land. Like, you're in the mountains and you're in the mountains. But I felt like there was just this little bit less than Disney and Universal from a theming that I would have liked to have seen, but I thought the rides were very, very well done in terms of the coasters themselves. So that's kind of what we got. So then we went shopping the next day and ate food and did all that, and then went back to the park again. We ended up staying not even that long, and we ended up going back to the water park because it was like, I mean, how many times can I ride like your awesome rides? Like, they're awesome, but I don't care what ride it is. Like, if you're going to throw me on Rock and Roller Coaster 7 times in a row, like, okay, I'm tapping out. I'm done. Like, I've had my fun and it's been wonderful, but we need to part ways now, right? It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we really enjoyed it. We're going to book the exact same time next year. I think the only minus, like I said, was, this one room thing. And there's so much to do outside of Dollywood, again, depending on how much money you want to spend, like, there's go-kart and there's mini golf. There were things that we wanted to do that we just were like too tired to do, or just like next trip sort of thing. So I don't think you get, this kind of, I think there's always something to do. Like, there's so many just different, like, one show things that you can accomplish. Like I said, dude, Scooby-Doo escape room? Like, oh my goodness. Like, yeah, please, right? Like, mini golf. Yeah. Like, we haven't even done all the mini golf there. So
didn't we talk like the last time you went about do they have the pirate like themed medieval times thing there that Dolly Parton owns?
They might. I mean, I haven't been to one of their shows. They have the rodeo one. I know that.
Because we talked about, they have it in Myrtle Beach where it's like
okay. They have like they still have a Magic Quest there, Tom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but there's so much to do. Like I said, if you decided that again, I think you have to, because they also have the Ripley's Aquarium, which I've loved. We've been there as well. If you have to kind of gauge your money, because it could get crazy. Like, even when we went to the island, which is that like shopping area in the middle, there was some stuff that I hadn't seen there before. There was some like kind of like the void-ish sort of stuff, and then there was like inside, 3D like Soarin'. They had all different sorts of things that you could do, but those are, you're paying for separately. So that was kind of, we played, and we did also play a lot of cornhole at the hotel as well.
Did you do any mini golf?
We did not do any mini golf this time. Again, remember, we had mini golfed ourselves out.
Yeah, you guys did a lot of mini golf last time.
Yeah, we did a lot of mini golf last time. So totally enjoyable. Like I said, we'll be going again next year. So looking forward to it. And it's a very cheap, relatively. I want to say, so for 6 of us, for, let's see how many days. So it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we left Sunday. So let's just call it in total 5 days. I want to say for 6 people, we were probably under $3,000.
That's not bad. Yeah. That's not too bad.
I didn't think that was bad at all. Now, again, we have no idea what we're doing next year outside of that. We're still trying to plan a Hershey trip that may be on the agenda.
It's got to happen.
Yeah, Tampa. This Tampa Busch Gardens, Disney mesh, where we go to Vero, we go to Disney and go there. I don't know what's going to happen.
I thought you were out on Vero. I thought you hated Vero.
The only way we're going is if we get a cottage.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Got it. So you think you'll be okay if you get a cottage?
Yes, I think if we get the cottage, it will just be. I don't think there's anything nicer than that. Like when I look at even the stuff in the parks. I mean, because the cottage itself has that second floor balcony that literally points to the ocean.
Yeah,
and it's not far; it's close. I don't think there's anything better than that. From again, people would say fireworks. Okay, yeah, fine, but I'm fireworked out at this point in my life, so I'm fine with that. Like,
you've seen enough fireworks.
I've seen enough fireworks. As I tell my wife all the time, when they invent something new with fireworks, let me know. I'll show up. Till then, not so much.
I think you're at a point where if you were really going to do fireworks, like there is fireworks competitions where
that would be different.
Get really creative. Like we actually have something like that in Calgary called Global Fest, which is literally just a fireworks festival for people to come and show off stuff. But
that's kind of cool.
That's different than like what you're saying, which is like the theme park fireworks.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm going to knock out the listener questions that are Dollywood related, and then we can go to Sean's after.
Okay.
So let's see. So
we haven't answered that question in a while, so I figured we.
Yeah, that's fine. So Chris, who we went to dinner with, is asking, is the food overall better at Disney or Dollywood? Does one have a higher floor than the other? Yeah, so I think I would answer this kind of like, I think average Dollywood food is far superior to average Disney food, right? But I don't think Dollywood has a top end like Disney has a top end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
But
I know exactly what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, the cost is also a factor. Like Dollywood is like nothing compared,
of course, yeah,
to Disney in terms of cost. Now, Dollywood's bakery area, I don't know, man. The Dollywood bakery and cinnamon bread and all that might get Disney, but again, I think the Dollywood in general, the average food is way better than Disney average food. So that I would say there. I do also want to mention that they did take us to an ice cream place that the ice cream place has its own farm, so they bring their own milk from their own cows to make the ice cream. Yeah, it was really good.
That's awesome.
We skipped Rita's that night to do that, and while some of the people in our crew were a little upset by that, I was not. I thought I had sweet cream, soft ice cream, and it was extremely good.
That sounds amazing.
Yes. Okay. So which of the Dollywood roller coasters did you like the best? It is tough. I would say that for me, the coaster that I like the best is still probably Mystery Mine. I just think it's such a different coaster than stuff that you find other places. The fact that it actually goes upside down for that long, and it's not fast, but it goes upside down for so long that like you really cannot have anything in your pockets. You will lose them is probably my favorite. Least favorite, I don't ride the Wild Eagle anymore. So I would say I think it was a good ride, but I just don't ride it anymore. It's just too much for me. So I don't know if it's my least favorite, but I would say it's one I don't ride. And then wait times were 0, literally 0. We were walking off on, like zero. Okay. So Katie, what's one thing Dollywood does better than Disney? Right now, I'm going to tell you customer service. It's not even close. It's not even a question. That their customer service is far superior to Disney in every aspect, at restaurants, at the hotel, in the park, waiting online, everything. It's overall better. And then go ahead.
Sorry, just to expand on that, what exactly is giving you that vibe, or like, do you have any particular examples?
Sure. Yep. So, I mean, just in general, everyone, like, not the cast members at Disney. Listen, some cast members at Disney at this point are a little rude. I mean, they just are, right?
You run into a cranky one occasionally, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, there just doesn't exist at Dollywood. Everyone is at the same. So that's what probably I say. So you take the best Disney CM, that's everybody at Dollywood. So even when we asked for, like, you asked for towels, and it's like, okay, I got 65 towels. You know what I mean? They were like, well, well, how many people do you have? And it's like, well, there's 6 of us, but there's 4 teenagers, and they're like, oh, totally get it. No problem. Like we'll take care of that. And they, there's like 60 towels. When we were down at the fire pit, the people that are like kind of running that are just, they're more talkative. And again, this is definitely because it's a smaller place. They're just more talkative about, just things in general.
You can be a lot more selective when you have less employees, right?
Yeah. So they're just more talkative and friendly, and things of that nature, where it's not like they're handing you the s'mores kit and it's like, kind of go on your way. How was your day? How'd you go to Dollywood today? Things like that I think are just more well done. And I will say, if there's ever any like issue with anything, so like we were having an issue with one of the bands, like it's just done a little bit differently. It's very just calm. Everything's calm. Everything's easy. And it's nice. Like, again, there was not an experience at all. Here's the other thing. What I will say too is that I feel like, and this has happened a few times there, where they don't let guests get out of control. It's the South. They just don't play like that, right? So, like, I remember when we were there, and there was and this was so many years ago, my kids, so let's see, my oldest is 19 now. I want to say maybe he was 10, maybe. And there was somebody playing on the slides, but like kind of like acting the fool at 10 years old. And like a lady came over and was like, hey, listen, kid, like, no, like, you can't try to go back up the slide the other way. That's not how things are done here. And made him go sit out. And put him in timeout. And no one came over and said or did anything. It's kind of the same thing even now. Like, everything, like, they just tell you what's what, like, and that's that. And like, just deal with it, or right. There's not a lot of that. Like, there's no crazy, like, there's no craziness going on there. Everything's just kept at a level that's just.
I wish Disney would do that.
Yeah, like if there's line cutting,
tell people to knock it off, right?
Yes.
I think the problem is there's a certain entitlement, because Disney is so expensive. There are people think that they can do whatever they want, and Disney doesn't want to rock the boat, I guess. But you're right. I wish they would do it too. I get it. But
so I do like that. And again, even when you're like kind of like we're going to get breakfast at the hotel, like, it's chatty, it's friendly, it's comfy and cozy with everyone you talk to. Not like it's just one person. Every single person you talk to. We had a conversation with. So we were down there. We were talking. One of the guys that's opening the new. He's the head of the food services over at the new hotel, which is not open yet. And he was just down there chatting, like talking to people. We talked for a while. We had somebody come up to us talking about the Branson Park. Like, it's just more chatty, more familiar, that sort of thing. That's what I would say.
Okay, I get that. Makes sense.
Yep. Let's see. And one thing Disney does better than Dollywood is, listen. Again, I said this already. The cues, the theming is just next level at Disney. Again, I think about Guardians of the Galaxy versus what I rode. And if you take the rides, the actual rides, forget about everything else. Man, I tell you, I don't like. I love some of the stuff that exists outside of Disney, but Disney's theming is just different. It's next level. So I would say that Disney definitely does that better. Let's see. Do I think Dollywood is worth a visit for international guests? Man, that's a tough one.
I mean, that whole area, though, there's so much to do, though, right?
There
I mean, like, so you could make a vacation out of it, like a long vacation out of it. Because you could do like a bunch of stuff.
It's going to cost you a lot of money. You could do it, but yeah, here's the only thing I would say is, right, kind of on that same line, Pigeon Forge is not Orlando. right? Like
I think that's exactly the key, is that
it's like
temper expectations that it's not a carbon copy of.
It is not. And it's different in its own way, but like, yes, you're, dealing with the people that do the go-karts. The go-karts there are amazing, but there's 20 different places, right? So there's almost like, okay, well, which place do I go to? How do I there's just a lot of moving parts because every one of those 20 places is different. They're not like all the same. So you understand what to do, how to go, there's a lot of that goes on. And like, yeah, you got to go find where you're going to eat tonight, right? Like that place may be busy. You got to go find somewhere. It's not like a contained area like Disney is or Universal. It's not like that. It's, there's a lot of hunting, pecking. Like you have to have a car. So as an international guest, I mean, how much do you want to drive? Like, and you're driving in these places where there's like a bunch of people, especially at these places out at night going to eat per se. I mean, it's just a different experience in general.
Where do you even fly into to get to Pigeon Forge?
I guess, you're talking about, is that Knoxville or Nashville? Which one is it?
I don't know. I don't know what the closest airport is to Dollywood.
I don't know. But yeah, I think it's worth a visit, but I don't know if I would say that even if I had like enough money, I'm probably going to, tap out at 6 days anyway. So is it worth it just to come to Dollywood? As part of another visit for international guests, absolutely, because it is a totally different experience than Disney. And as I've said, and I know it makes everyone mad, it is my favorite park, bar none. That's it. There's no question. It is my favorite park. It could be my kids' favorite park. You know what I mean? Like they just really enjoy that. So yeah, worth it if you can tack it onto something else. I just don't think you would be coming out here to do just that. And again, you have to prepare yourself for what it is, which is a different type of vacation. Not better, not worse, just different, I would say.
Okay. By the way, in case you're wondering, the closest airport is Knoxville. So. Okay. Also, it's 4 hours from me. So
yeah, I thought it was a little bit closer.
Yeah, it is a little. Yeah, not too bad.
I think so. One of the schools my son's looking at is in Tennessee, and I'm like, I will 100% be on board with a season pass at Dollywood.
Yeah, because every time you go out to visit, you could just pop in, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's the way to do it. All right. Well, anything else from your vacation? Sorry.
I think that's it. I think we're on to the Wolverine origin story.
The Wolverine origin story.
He is Canadian.
Some of the best comics, though. Yeah.
That's true. You know what? He is Canadian. That is true.
Wait, so what superhero would you be then? So if we give Trevor Wolverine just de facto because of Canadian, like
Canadian,
who are you? Who are you, Tom?
I don't know. That's a tough question. Yeah. I'd have to really think about. Are we going just any superhero, or are we?
I think we have to go Marvel at that point.
Kind of locking in on X-Men.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Are we going just X-Men, or?
Oh, X-Men. I'm Iceman. If it's X-Men, like I'm Iceman. I feel like.
Can I go Spider-Man?
We'll let you slide on Spider-Man. That's fine.
Yeah. All right.
But I think outside, like if Spider-Man is not truly like the main character, like he is dead in every story. I hate to tell you, like his powers are not at the same level as everybody else.
Yeah, but like he's got like the strength. He's got like he's very smart. He's got the cool webs.
Dude, I'm freezing you and putting you in the bottom of the ocean, and like that's it.
His Spidey sense saves him.
Yeah, the Spidey sense. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, that's cool. I feel like most people would be like Iron Man, right? Like, because Iron Man's just cool, right?
I don't know. I feel like Iron Man, though, dude, you could just like somebody's figuring out who it is, and you're just sniping him. Like that's it, easy peasy.
Yeah, but he's probably got some sort of technology to stop that, right?
I don't know.
Come on, it's Tony Stark. He's got all sorts of. He's like Rick from Rick and Morty. Like no matter what you do to him, he's got some sort of defense built in, right?
I don't know. Rick is far superior in power, I think, to Iron Man.
To Iron Man, to Tony Stark. This is getting into weird territory now.
That's a whole conversation.
I started watching Adventure Time, by the way.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I have not like ever wanted to watch Adventure Time, and then I was like, oh, everyone says Adventure Time is as good as Gravity Falls, and I'm like, there's no way. So I started watching Adventure Time. I was like, this is terrible. Stop. This is terrible. Stop. And then like I'm on some like cartoon Reddit, and they're like, dude, like just bully through, right? Just bully through a little bit. And I'm like, oh, all right, fine. So like I think it was maybe when we were on vacation. I don't remember. I was like, all right, I'm just going to bully through and start. And I'm on season 2 now. It's pretty good. It is not Gravity Falls, but it's pretty good. Like, and if you're like me and you kind of been like, this is not really great, and then you kind of go in a little bit deeper, it may not be so bad after all.
All right.
I watched it years ago, and yeah, you're right. It kind of started off like it's very
I was like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, it's misleading, and it seems random at first. Like every episode seems disconnected, but then yeah, like you said, as you get to like season 2, it all hooks together and you see like the bigger picture.
Yeah.
It's a weird show for sure.
Now all I'm thinking is, instead of Marvel characters, I feel like we're more appropriate as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But that's just neither here nor there.
Leonardo, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I guess so.
It's got a good origin story there. I heard that movie was good, the new one, but I didn't see
I don't love that style though.
Yeah, see, I had a feeling you wouldn't like, because that's not your. I don't love that animation style either, actually. But.
Yeah, it's the slower frame rate, right? Like it looks kind of choppy.
Yeah. I don't love it. Disney's got a lot of stuff coming out though. I think the Doomies or whatever. There's a lot of good serialized animation coming from them. So, all right, origin story though.
Yeah, okay.
Back to our original question.
Yeah, we haven't said this in a while, so I will forgive Sean for not having heard this before. So. Sean asked, what's the podcast origin story? Have all three of you met together in real life? I know Trevor's in Canada, and I think Tom and Damon are from Jersey and both live in NC. So, most of that backstory, I guess. But so essentially years ago, it's been a long time now. It's been over 6 years that we've been doing this. There was a DVC group that got created. What was it? DVC Neighborhood. It was the official DVC group.
It's
right?
still around. It's still there.
I left that one a long time ago because that group was a mess. But so I had been wanting to do a podcast for a long time. I just really wanted to do it, and so I posted in that group and I said, "Hey, I want to do a DVC themed podcast, and who wants to do it with me?" And Damon and Trevor.
And then the Facebook algorithm is involved here.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
No, absolutely. 100%. Right. So these guys responded. We had someone else that responded too, but we were never able to get in touch with that
person. What happened with them.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to that person.
Wait, do you still have the message in Messenger? Or
I probably do if I really looked back.
Yeah. They have their own podcast and it's even cooler. Is that possible?
I mean, I know of only 2 other DVC podcasts. So, I mean, sure. And I don't think it's any of the people that do those, but it's possible, I guess. But
I guess so.
But yeah, so that's just kind of how it started, and it just so happens that we get along really well together, and we have similar senses of humor, and make each other laugh often. So it's really hard to kind of fake this kind of chemistry and stuff like that. So, and a lot of people actually, Trevor, I think your wife posted this to the Facebook group the other day that even from the first episode, it sounded like we had been friends for 10 years.
Yeah, and that's actually what I was going to say is I think the weirdest and the coolest thing about when we first met was, you sent out that message and me and Damon responded. And I remember saying, I said to my wife, I was like, hey, I want to try this because I'd never done something like a podcast before. And, we were this was very early into us being into DVC and all that. And I said, I think I can talk about this, but I kind of said to her, I'm like, I don't know. And then I was also like, I don't even know, what these people are going to be like. This may not go anywhere. And the weird thing is that I think the three of us, we got onto that first, or we all got on on a voice call.
Yeah, it was just like a voice. Yeah, it was
and it was just that instantly hey, how's it going? We didn't even none of us even flinched at being awkward about it. It was we just were all okay, cool, we're doing this, and it just went
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So I've met Tom a few times here in North Carolina for swim meets because we've been out his way, and I have not met Trevor because they went together to Disney, and I was just unable to attend. I think one of my kids had some sports or something. I just couldn't go.
Something like that.
Yeah, we tried. It was a failed meetup from 2020 that we finally did in 2022.
It wasn't a failed meet. It was just a failure of.
I wasn't there. That is a failure. I would agree with.
No,
that.
It was assessment. It was failed in that 2020 happened, and none of us could get to the parks, and then it didn't properly happen until 2022. And then
I forgot.
No, I still consider it a failed meeting without me there.
I forgot that we had a meetup scheduled for 2020 that we had to cancel.
We were trying, and then
Wait, when is the next meetup?
I don't know. We got to schedule something, don't we?
So I feel like for me. This is going to be like sacrilege, but man, let's do an epic universe meetup at Disney.
Gosh.
I'm down. I would say though, like next year when I have 2 kids in college, it actually probably becomes easier for me.
Yeah. I mean, we can try to schedule something for next year. That meetup was a lot of fun. We had a good amount of listeners there. The food was really good.
I meant 2025. Sorry, 2025. Like when they're both actually in college. Okay.
Yeah. We can make that work. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we can start planning.
But yeah, I mean that's just kind of how it happened, Sean. Like it's just weird that it all kind of worked out, right? Because like it doesn't feel like it should have.
No, and I think what the thing that's always a little bit underrated here is that we all enjoy doing different things about the podcast.
Yeah.
Right? Because I tried to do another podcast again, and while it was working, like, dude, no one really wanted to edit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like Tom does the stuff that I just don't want to do. Right? Like, there's just no way I want to do that. So I think we all bring something a little unique to the table that meshes well. And we both enjoy doing different things with the podcast. Like, I do social media stuff like Facebook. That's fine. Like, I have no problem with that. But like, I just don't want to edit, man. Like, I just don't want to do it. So it's been fun. I think we also all have different insights as well, which makes it nice because we don't all think the same way about everything.
Well, which we need to be like that because it's not a podcast if we're all like, yeah, everything's cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I just think we've also always leaned into the awkwardness, right? Like we always leaned into the when we make mistakes or when we say stupid stuff or when we, just give each other a hard time. Like that's why it's kind of worked out that way, right? And no, to your point, Damon. Yeah, I like producing the podcast. I enjoy that piece of it. So it was actually funny, Damon, when you weren't here last week when Jody was here. She had like what was it, the landscaper in the background or something, and she was like, "Oh, you could just edit that out." And I'm like, "We don't edit anything. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, we don't edit stuff. Like that's not how we roll."
There's a bunch of people here right now, and I was like, "Oh, my daughter's friends are here in their lab." I was like, "Yeah, we just roll with it, man."
Yeah, that's just how we do it.
All right, so we got an ad now, huh? We got an ad, and then actually DVC stuff.
Yeah, Trevor, were you going to say something else before we do the ad, or?
I was just going to mention how, I used to have like, the smoke alarm going off in my house because of cooking going on. Oh, and it's fine.
It's just, listen, it happens, man. Like right when we started recording this, there was a thunderstorm rolling through. It is what it is. Life happens, man. Like we're not here to be perfect. We're not here to get rid of all the ums and the likes. And we try not to do it because we know it drives some people crazy, but that's how people talk, It is what it is. So why don't we go ahead and do our ad? Our sponsor of this episode is DVC Rental Store. The DVC Rental Store, a World of DVC company, offers magical vacations at incredible value. Save up to 60% off retail rates at premium Disney resorts. DVC Rental Store now includes deposits as low as 25% at the time of booking and a built-in cancellation policy for every reservation. And as always, DVC Rental Store pays out the most to members looking to rent their points. Want to learn more? Go to dvcrentalstore.com/welcome home or call 1-855-DVC-RENT. That's 1-855-382-7368. And be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you. Or, of course, like I said, go to dvcrentalstore.com/welcome home. Very important to put the Welcome Home piece in there. So, really interesting that Disney's warning people way ahead of time about Stormalong Bay at Beach Club closing.
I
think it's fair.
Yeah, you have to because people book for that.
That's the thing, right? So you're right, Damon, right? Like that's the big draw of Yacht and Beach, right? Is that pool. And if you're going to close it for 5 months, they're going to close the pool for 5 months from January through May 2025.
I'll be honest with you. I also think the points should go down during that time, as crazy as that sounds.
Ooh. No, I totally agree with that.
But Damon. You can't because the way points work. But I feel like it almost is like, so people are saying, okay, well, you can, they're going to let them, hop to boardwalk or wherever the case may be. I almost feel like, though, there should be some something else that you get, like a free dinner or something, like something. Otherwise, like, why are you going?
I mean, I'm assuming, maybe the cash rates will be lower. I don't know, but you can't change the points, like you said. But
well, they can though. That's like, because we haven't had point charts yet for 2025, right?
Well,
so
they could adjust them lower during those 5 months, but then they'd have to be higher the rest of the year, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which that becomes a fight to, people wanting to get later in the year, which, actually to that, the interesting thing about that is, there may be people that would take advantage of that because, I guess, I don't know, like, you're right that everybody really goes to Beach Club for this pool. Like it's a very unique pool, and there's not another resort that has a pool like this on property. But
yeah,
I guess my thinking too is, it's proximity wise about as close as Boardwalk to Epcot
and to the Skyliner.
Yeah. So if they offered, a cheaper rate for those 5 months, that might be something I would consider if I knew I was going there, for stuff at Epcot and whatnot. Like, if I was there for Flower and Arts it's
Flower and Garden
or Flower and Garden. Yeah. Flower and Garden or Festival of the Arts or whatever.
You need to call it by its correct name, which is farts. So
yes, I was trying to tiptoe around that, but
no, that's what it's called. It's called farts.
Yeah, maybe if you're going there for one of those, that could actually be more attractive if they knocked a few points off. But then, like you said, unfortunately, that means later on in the year, people are paying a little bit more in terms of points to stay there when it's open.
You'll probably just have people staying elsewhere, though, right? Like, so I'm guessing there'll be more availability, I would think. Like you'd have an easier time getting into Beach Club at 6 months, right? During this time period, I would think, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm actually kind of surprised they're not starting this in like November. I know it's like the busy time, but like you would think the pool's probably less filled during the winter. I know it doesn't get, it does get super cold sometimes in Florida, but you're not really going in the pool in November for the most part, right?
Speak for yourself, but okay.
Only the Canadians are in the pool.
Yeah, there's no time of year that I would not get in a pool at Disney because
I'm pretty sure I've been in the pool in December at Disney, but I'm just saying, like, try to encompass as much of winter as possible because by May it's pool weather. So I don't know.
I wonder if it's to do with hurricane season too. Because because that could definitely have an impact on, if they're doing maintenance work. Yeah. So, I don't know.
I think it probably just has more to do with like the busy season of November and December. They don't want to like take that away during that busy time. I don't know. But it's interesting to me that, and you guys are right, this is why they're doing this. But the fact that they're notifying people a full year, basically a year and a half ahead of time, like that this is going to be closed. Like that's kind of I can't remember them ever going that far ahead,
especially for a pool.
Yeah, for a pool. Yeah.
Again, pool maintenance.
While out though, but they will while out if they book there and there's no pool.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You're right. That is absolutely the case here. Is if I was
like if you put me at Boardwalk and that stupid new pool without the clown is closed, I'm like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
It's worth noting there's still going to be pools open, just not the main pool, right? So like
but that is the only pool, really.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. The other pools are like they're all carbon copies.
They're just pools.
Yeah. It's a square block with water.
Yeah, they're a pool you'd find anywhere. They don't so the lazy river is going to be closed. The pirate ship theme slide is going to be closed. The kid pool is going to be closed. That's all going to be closed. The whole Stormalong Bay is going to be closed. So. Yeah, listen, I think it's good that they're warning people this far out. So
yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
I think almost they need to warn people, and there should be like a pop-up when you're going to book. Like for real.
They do that usually, though. No, they do that.
No, there should be for realsies. Like, the pool is closed, right? Like, that's what it should say.
Yeah.
The pool is closed, right?
Do you still want to book? Are you sure? Like, just keep having pop-ups.
Dude, sleep on it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like a 5-minute timer to give you time to think about it before you can book it.
Oh my goodness. So I will say though, while Tom is making us record at a different day today, there's no way I can't like go to dinner soon. But I want to talk about Tiana's Palace menu. Like, is that like, can we do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's skip here because
we can hop ahead to this.
This is bad because this is the Disneyland menu.
It's Disneyland, but
is it going to be the same?
What do you mean? Well, no, they're not doing a restaurant at Disney World.
Not?
No.
Oh, but they're not for the new ride?
Not yet. Not that we've heard of yet. I mean, there's been.
It's not going to be this.
They're going to close Pecos Bill down and do.
Why isn't it going to be this?
I mean,
this is good, isn't it?
Can it be this?
This menu is amazing.
Yes, can it please be this? Please. First of all, when you talk about sandwiches, the muffaletta, is something that is just on a totally different level. Now, it can be ruined with bad olive relish, though. I will say.
Sure.
Olive relish has to be on point, and you have to have sesame seed bread, or it doesn't count. The only minus is just don't make the rosemary ham super rosemary, right? Because it can ruin it as well.
Gotta get
it could be my favorite sandwich though, and that's going to be there.
Yeah.
This is probably the most excited I've been about anything at Disneyland. And I hope that they just copy this and make it the same and open a restaurant next to this new ride.
I mean, listen, it's possible. There's been a rumor for a while that they're going to close down Pecos Bill and retheme it to this. So but I don't know. I mean, they haven't confirmed it yet. But I will say this food looks really good, man. I mean,
yeah.
Is this a quick service? This is a quick service, right?
Yeah, this is
because I mean, it does not look like a quick service.
No, they got multiple gumbos, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I dig that.
That chicken looks amazing. The Cajun spice half chicken. Oh,
I don't love a chicken with bones in it, but
I'm not a big fan either, actually. But still,
I mean, it just everything looks good, and I don't like the shrimp stuff, but like it looks good, even though I know I'm not eating it. It looks good.
Yeah, shrimp and grits I would probably be going for that. I mean, the problem with this is that you would have to like come back here like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And then this house filled beignet.
Oh yeah.
I don't love lemon icebox pie filling. And I don't like lemon in general. Like, not that I hate it, but I don't love it. Really? But I still eat this. Yeah.
You don't like lemon? Oh man, I love a good lemon.
Like lemonade is fine, but like lemon in my dessert is like, it can be a little overpowering for me, is what I feel like. So I don't love it.
Lemon meringue's out of the question for you.
No, I eat it, but like I'm not like, that's not the first thing I go to. And the thing is, crazy enough though, I will eat, a key lime pie. But again, I feel like it can only be so much of it. So in this thing, every time I see a beignet or something of this, I really think that they should just be those Hostess Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle things.
Wait, what are you talking about? I'm blanking on this.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm
the pies that were filled with vanilla and chocolate pudding by Hostess?
Yeah, I know what those are, but I don't remember a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle tie-in.
Oh, there was the ooze pies, but anyway, it should be that. Like every time I see something that looks like that, that's the only thing I can think of, and I'm like, why is it not that? Because they were the best things ever.
Okay, I just Googled this and I kind of remember it now. Okay, wow, that is a really...
But that's what these should all be. They should never be filled with lemon ice box pie filling. It should be filled with Teenage Mutant Ninja vanilla ooze that's green for some reason.
But how does that go with the...
no, it doesn't. I'm just saying is that when I see something that looks like that...
Okay, well, you know what?
Well, there you go. Yes, you do have that.
Frog puree in a beignet.
Oh, God.
Anytime I see something like that, that's all it can make me think of, though.
Yeah, I love... So I really like a good beignet. And actually, this is... I hope that we don't have any listeners from New Orleans, but one of my biggest disappointments from going to New Orleans was I went to a Café du Monde and had their beignets, and I just thought they were okay. That's the big place you go to New Orleans to have beignets, and I just was like, it's fine. I was kind of bummed by it, actually. I don't know. I'm sure somebody will hate me for that, but they were definitely not the best beignets I've ever had. Yeah, but man, you got gumbos coming in here. You got a chicken in and Dewey sausage gumbo. There's a house gumbo. There's a Cajun spice half chicken with that baked macaroni and cheese and like a nice little square there, which I kind of love. It's a block. Yeah. You got some cornbread.
Yeah, I was gonna say the cornbread. I think it like I don't know. Whenever I go for that kind of stuff, like the cornbread's so filling, but you feel you have to just eat it, right? Like it's I don't know. I love cornbread too much, I think.
I love cornbread too, actually. I love a good cornbread. If cornbread's too dry, I'm not in. Like I need, cornbread's always going to be a little bit dry, but like I need some moistness in the cornbread,
Yeah, you're right.
You can get a lot of like bad, really dry cornbread, but if you get a good cornbread, I'll eat a ton of it.
No.
Yeah. Good.
So the last thing we should talk about on this is that they are selling a ceramic set.
I see that
quick service.
Yeah.
This is very unusual because usually like you get like sippers and stuff like this. This looks like a nice, it's a lily pad and lotus cup ceramic set, which I mean, I can't think of the last time that I've seen anything ceramic at the parks that you could,
selling that. That's like,
yeah.
I mean, like, you're just going to walk out with this, like,
well, no, it's you buy it and then you get a beignet with it. So it's like, like anything else, like, you're paying for the plate and all that, but a very, very nice, like this is not like a popcorn bucket keepsake. Like this is something very nice.
This is like if you went into one of the large gift shops at Disney, like if you went into like the home goods section, like you would find something like this.
Well, even in the home goods section, like I feel like because it's got the frog on it and everything that this seems a lot more custom or a lot more like it's again just more upscale, I think, than a lot of stuff I've seen from Disney for a while, like especially food related stuff. Like it seems like they kind of defaulted to a lot of just plastic and easily mass producible stuff, but this seems like they put some effort into it.
This I guess what I mean by this is like, normally if you buy something that's ceramic like this in the parks, they like wrap it up real nice, they put it in a bag. Like, is this going to come, like, is there going to be some way that you can wrap this up so you don't break it? Because you just got to walk around with this now in your hand for the rest of the day,
Let's break it on Space Mountain.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you do with it after you have it?
Well, you get a locker and you put it in the locker until you're done.
Well, I guess
that's what I would do.
I also like this Ray Firefly glow cube. Again, taking it to another level. They have the typical glow cubes, and then now this one is shaped like Ray, and it's kind of cool. Like I don't think I'm trying to think if I've seen glow cubes that are shaped like a character.
That's not actually a glow cube.
Well, because it's off.
It says glow cube. It looks like a clip, or because
it does look like a clip. Yeah,
because I've seen, or we had there was like a Buzz Lightyear one that we got that was actually just a thing that clipped onto the side of the cup. It wasn't.
So what you're saying is it's like the popcorn bucket that isn't. It's a glow cube that isn't. It's a glow clip.
A glow clip. Yeah,
it's a glow clip
with an asterisk. Yeah, they've got an asterisk on it, which means limit 10 per person per transaction. Who's buying more than 10 of these? Oh, I guess
they're going to show up on eBay, dude. Like it's going to happen.
I answered that question before I even finished.
There's a market for everything. I mean, let's not forget people were stealing the cool sporks from Galaxy's Edge and selling them. If people are going to sell a spork, they're going to sell a glow clip. So. But no, this looks good. And to Damon's point, this muffaletta sandwich looks excellent. Looks really good.
I've never had a muffaletta before, so I'm very curious about it.
It's not really something you get outside of New Orleans, basically. I mean, the only one I've ever had, really, I think, was in New Orleans. So yeah, it's a very New Orleans dish or sandwich, I guess we could say. So. Should we hop back in time here, back to our previous topic, Trevor?
Well,
or do you want to finish food off? Let's finish food off.
Let's finish food off because we have another one here for was it Plaza de Familia in the Disneyland Resort, which I'm guessing this is
Familia. Yeah,
this is Coco
It is. It's a California adventure. It's September 1st and November 2nd. So this is it's the Dia de los Muertos celebration.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The cake, that slice of cake is awesome. Beautiful.
It is. Yeah. It is. It's like pink. I mean, is that all layers of cake? It's not even like frosting in the middle. It's just a bunch of different colored cakes.
Yeah. It says it's a horchata cheesecake.
Oh, is it?
Whoa. Yeah.
Okay.
I like me some horchata.
That's the next meme. That's the next meme that Chris is going to make.
I didn't even think about when. So just that meme actually made me laugh when I saw it.
I laughed out loud. I was sitting on the couch looking at my phone and I saw that and I was like, that is a perfect use of that meme. Yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about, join the Facebook group because every once in a while people will put together some memes with some funny things from the episode. But it's so funny because it's never the things I think they're gonna pick up on, right? Like it's always the dumb things like that where it's like, I just exclaim that I love food, and you're just like, I know. Sadly, like I know.
It wasn't sadly. It was just like, yes, I know this about you.
I'm aware of this, Tom. All right, you don't need to tell me how much you love food.
So I guess I was wrong. That's not the horchata cheesecake.
Okay, I was gonna say it didn't look like cheesecake to me.
Yeah, I went further down. It looks like it's a vanilla layer cake.
Oh,
with cinnamon mousse and sweet cream cheese frosting. So it's still got the cream cheese, but it's not the horchata.
That sounds fantastic. Nonetheless,
still good. Yeah.
Wait, what did we decide we were going to call the dishes where they just make a regular dish and they just throw a thing on top of it?
Because
that's the horchata cheesecake.
Did you find it?
I did find it. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
It's just a little metal tin that they just threw the skull on. Yeah, that one's that's the laziest one of all of them in here.
I mean, it looks like a nice sugar skull, but
yeah. Okay, but let's look at some of these other dishes. Okay, so chili verde, chicken flautas. Okay, cool. What am I? Chorizo quesadilla. I'm always up for a quesadilla, man. I love quesadillas.
These tacos, the tacos estilo Calero.
Yeah.
Calero, I think. I'm so bad at pronouncing.
No, it's all right. It's all good. Yeah. I'm looking at this burrito too, man. This burrito looks delicious. The carnitas one.
I mean, this is all just like it reminds me of the same kind of stuff you get at Pecos Bills, which is not a bad thing by any means.
Yeah. Oh man, they have elote too. Sorry, good.
Again, the problem is that, or this is a good problem to have, is these, like, looking at all these dishes, I feel like I would have to come back to these restaurants like 2 or 3 times to try all of these different things, right? Like that's not a bad problem to have, other than, this is a limited time run, which, I mean, if I was planning a trip to Disneyland, I would probably find a week in October and then spend a good chunk of it at Paradise Garden Grill.
just all your time eating.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Dude, I love elote. Have you had elote? I love elote. The corn on
the cob.
Never
had elote.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Corn on the cob topped with crema, cotija, and chili powder. And chicharron crumbles. Like, I love a good elote, man. So good. It's like the street corn. It's just so good. My sister makes it every once in a while. Although, listen, and I know that this is a kid's meal right beneath the elote, but like there's like 5 chips on that plate. Like, my daughter would destroy that in like 2 seconds. Like, why even put a plate with just 5 tortilla chips and some sort of green salsa?
Are you sure it's not because it just says chips and salsa?
Yeah,
so are you sure that's not just a side? Yeah.
Maybe it's just. But even then, I'd be disappointed if that was the size of my side.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
pretty tiny.
I guess the thing is I'm not really buying a lot of sides.
That's fair.
At Disney. Yeah. Like I'm not looking. I'm usually getting enough from the meal itself. So I mean, I guess if you're walking around and you're just really wanting a snack, I don't know. I guess I'm never that not hungry at Disney. I'm always really hungry at Disney.
I know we usually don't talk drinks, but watermelon candy cocktail, that sounds good to me, man. I even though I don't like pineapple juice, I do love watermelon.
Tequila, watermelon schnapps, and pineapple juice.
Yeah.
No,
that's a no for you.
Nah, that's a little steep for the alcohol.
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, we have another sipper here too, and this Cocoa Skull sipper, pretty cool. Not gonna lie, nice. Man, they're getting really good with these sippers and these popcorn buckets, because this one is very cool.
I do like that they also have the Dante straw clip. As much as we just finished talking about the
clipping onto stuff,
most of the time it's like I don't want it, but I like Dante's a cool character.
I agree. Yeah.
And there's not enough Dante stuff, I feel, and that the thing about that is that it's like a keychain, right?
Yeah.
So like you could put it on anything else, and so I'm okay with that.
All right. Yeah. And we're just going down. We're down to your horchata cheesecake, where they threw a skull on the top of it. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that stands out to me that is a
horchata cookie filled with cajeta. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'd be willing to. The thing about this stuff is that when I don't know what it is, I'm more.
You're more interested in trying it.
Yeah. It's like, okay, what is that? Can I compare it to something that I know, or is
sense.
It? Yeah.
I don't know what this thing over to the right on the bottom is, but it's very cool looking. I can't seem to figure out what it is though.
The macaron box?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, looks like it.
No, all the way at the bottom. The last picture to the right. Yeah.
Vanilla sugar cookie. No.
That's what I'm saying. I can't figure out what this one is.
Unless it says Mexican wedding cookies? No.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
It's kind of cool looking though. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's weird. I wish weird, that's one thing Disney Parks blog needs to work on is, they kind of throw these pictures together and you have to decipher.
You have to figure out what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. What put each picture in and just put a caption below the picture.
We get it. We get it right most of the time. Yeah. Usually you could figure it out, but you're right. Yeah. It'd be nice if they did that. Right.
Yeah.
I know somebody that writes. Well, I don't know them. I have a friend of a friend that is one of the writers on here all the time. So yeah.
Little bit of feedback.
I'll just pass that along.
Yeah.
So the last thing we have on here is Tokyo Disney Resort is getting ready to open a whole bunch of new themed lands at Fantasy Springs, and so these are coming in 2024. But I think these are interesting to talk about because these could be, a lot of times some of this stuff starts over in the international parks and then can make its way over to Disney World sometimes. Not always, but it's possible. I could see them building. So they've all new lands here. They have a Tangled land, a Frozen land, and a Peter Pan land, which is kind of cool. They're doing a Peter Pan one, right? But the names of these areas are going to be called Rapunzel's Forest, Peter Pan's Neverland, of course, and Frozen Kingdom. Why I don't know why you just don't call Frozen Arendelle, but okay.
Right.
Whatever. I'm not going to complain about it. It's fine. I love the fact that they actually made a Snuggly Duckling restaurant for Rapunzel's Land.
See, I would eat there.
Yeah, I would 100% eat there. Yeah.
Because it's the Snuggly Duckling, right?
Yeah. I'm assuming they theme the heck out of it, right? I'm assuming it's exactly like what you would expect it to be. I would assume. And then the ride is it says it's a romantic boat ride to the annual Lantern Festival. I have a feeling that could be very cool. With all the lanterns and everything. I mean, depending on how it looks, I don't think I've seen any actual concept art of the ride, right?
I mean, just think about Navi River Journey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That ride, albeit short, is still very impressive.
Yeah.
If they put the same kind of effort into a Tangled themed ride, that's great. I would I hope to see video of it because, like like you, I don't think I'm getting over there anytime soon. But
yeah, so those you'll watch spoilers of those because you know you're not getting there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be curious to see that. And I'm also curious. So moving over to Neverland.
Yeah.
There's going to be Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure, which I'm looking at the poster for it, and it almost looks like the Peter Pan ride. Like the boat has that same shape to it, but I know it's not going to be the same thing. Like, but it would be funny if they just did like the Peter Pan ride. But
so if I remember correctly, when we first started talking about this, the cool thing about this one, first of all, the boat is much bigger, right? So it's got a whole bunch of people in it. But if I remember correctly, they had one of the cool things about this is that you're going to start off as a boat in the water, and then it's going to take off flying at some point.
Yeah.
So like that's the big difference, I think, right? Is like you're going to be in a boat in the water, and then it's going to fly.
So yeah, you start off like Pirates of the Caribbean, and then it takes off, which
is extraordinarily cool. I mean, if they can pull that off, even just the land itself looks very cool, right? Like the way they have the land set up is you have Captain Hook's ship there, you got the skull, you've got like just like all the mountains and like it just looks very cool. It's a very cool little area. And then you also have this. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. So the next ride was Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies is the name of it, and I like the way that this reads to me like a more interactive attraction. Yeah, because it says help Tinkerbell deliver parcels and packages to 4 seasonal areas of Pixie Hollow. Which if you have kids that watch Pixie or the various Tinkerbell movies like that, that's great that they're doing tie-ins for those. And but I'm wondering what that's going to mean. Like helping deliver stuff. Is it are you just sitting there and is it going through, or do you have the ability to kind of affect the ride? It sounds like it's going to be more interactive, right? I guess I'm assuming it is, right?
Yeah, I was thinking like Toy Story Midway Mania kind of.
Yeah,
that's kind of what maybe even trackless. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. It'll probably be something trackless, which again increases the reasons to go back on it multiple times. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm trying to find more details of this because I don't want to give out incorrect information about this Peter Pan ride, but that's what I remember hearing, and I just could be. I mean, it's possible I'm wrong about this. But there's some other cool concept art out there too that's not even in this, of like especially at night, like what it looks like. Mm-hmm. So there's some really really interesting things there. What was I was just scrolling down to see if I could find more details about this ride.
While you're doing that, we'll just mention the last thing, which is the Lost Kids Lookout Cookout, which is going to be the restaurant in Neverland, made from found objects and shipwreck parts. Just talking about theming and how Disney does theming, I'm already like, I can't help but see Hook in my head.
Yeah, I could see
right,
that,
like just how like the Lost Boys, their camp was all set up and everything. I know it won't I know it'll be more probably closer to the cartoon, but again, just I wish I could go to this park because it sounds like it would just be an awesome thing to experience, right?
Yeah. So I actually found, and I'm going to send this to you, Trevor. But
okay.
So this is saying it's a 6-minute boat ride with 3D goggles, and they have pictures of the ride vehicles, which kind of look like boats. Like they don't look like a boat that would float very well. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this whole going up in the air thing, but the poster certainly makes it seem like they fly at some point, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. That's just, it's safe to assume it because that's what they do in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So let's assume this is correct. But then also, this does look like a trackless ride for the Tinkerbell one, based on the ride vehicles I'm seeing here. It actually kind of looks like the Winnie the Pooh ride vehicles.
Okay,
yeah. So yeah, you got to have to scroll all the way down basically from the one I sent you. This is a much more comprehensive article than the one that Disney put out.
I wonder where they got this information from.
I don't know.
Yeah. The boat seems
doesn't seem like a boat that would float on water, does it?
Yeah, but I wonder if they're gonna do something where it looks like
it simulates water,
or it'll be just above the water, like it won't actually, like it'll just kind of be suspended, and then these you're right, these the Tinkerbell ride does look like Winnie the Pooh.
It does, right? It looks just like Winnie the Pooh. I do have to say this ride vehicle for the Peter Pan ride looks very cool. Like it looks like half a ship, basically. But yeah, I mean, these are pretty cool looking rides, man. I mean, it'd be really interesting to like kind of like you said, watch videos of these at some point, and just some of these the night concept art too is it looks like it's going to be amazing at night. Which, listen, my favorite time at Disney parks is the nighttime, right? Like that's the time I like being there because there's just a lot of cool stuff. Just there's something different about it at night.
Yeah, totally.
So. So this is and we didn't talk about the Frozen stuff. We got to talk about Frozen. We can't.
Well, yeah, I mean, Frozen Kingdom. So they say it's going to be Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey. Which I do you think that they're going to copy?
I don't think
Frozen
so.
Ever After.
I don't think so because I saw that the animatronics first of all are like the good animatronics, right? Like so they're the ones like where they look legit,
that they actually have faces.
Yeah, it's not a projected face, and the ride vehicles are not the same either, right? So like, I mean, they're boats, right? But yeah, no, I saw there's a video out there of the actual the animatronics, I where they were previewing it. So so they looked very, very different. But there's also they're building too. They're going to have the Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey, right? So I'm assuming it's going to be similar though, to your point, Trevor, right?
Yeah. I think that's the thing is that, even if it's not exactly the same, because I know they repurposed Maelstrom for the one in Epcot, but I just get this feeling in the back of my head that it's going to be just like the same thing, right? Like, because it doesn't say anything about, or it's basically talking about Frozen 1. Like, relive Frozen 1. It's like, well, we already have a ride that does that, but
but they don't there.
Fair point. Yes. I guess I just won't be looking for any videos of this like I will be the other two rides.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Wait, is this not the land that has the roller coaster too? Which are they building that somewhere else? They're building a Frozen roller coaster.
Really?
Is it not here?
Maybe that's in Shanghai.
Yeah, I got to track that down now because I'm maybe mixing up my foreign parks here. This one's at Hong Kong. Okay, so that one's there's another Frozen land being built at Hong Kong.
Okay.
And we're talking
extra confusion.
Yeah, just to add in more confusion here. They're building a Frozen roller coaster that looks fairly similar, I would say, to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, actually. So
okay.
Yeah. For some reason I thought that was Tokyo, but I guess not. So, and they just have the Frozen Ever After deal. So, I mean, they have the castle too, I guess, and they're going to have the Royal Banquet of Arendelle restaurant, which I'm going to guess is like Cinderella's royal table-esque, right?
Yeah,
it seems like it's in the castle. So
yeah, it looks a lot nicer than like Be Our Guest.
So, yeah.
I mean, the concept art.
Okay, is nice. Come on.
Okay. Yes, but the problem with Be Our Guest was the way they did the perspective on it. That it's supposed to look like the castle's off in the distance, but it doesn't.
No, that part's bad. But the restaurant itself is fine.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at the concept art that we have here. This looks like Arendelle.
Yeah, it's versus, full. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's a whole real castle.
And that's the thing is once you've been. And maybe this is me speaking as someone who's been spoiled by this, is like, once you've been to somewhere like Cars Land, where when you walk into the land and it's not even like, oh yeah, they themed it like this thing, like Cars Land is Cars, like it's Radiator Springs. You can't argue it. Like it's perfect in that sense. And then when you see something like the outside of Be Our Guest, where it was like they tried, but it didn't, it doesn't quite look right. That's where, looking at this concept art, I really hope it has that sense of scale to it, or the proper sense of scale, because like you said, it's not that the restaurant may necessarily be bad, but it takes away from just the overall vibe and feeling of, being in one of these Disney parks. Right. So, I assume Tokyo Disney is usually pretty good about going over the top too.
No, they are, right? Like all the Imagineers always want to work on the international parks because they blow the budget out of the water, right? Like they actually can do the things they want to do. And by the way, that animatronic video I saw was actually from the Hong Kong Frozen Ever After attraction. So I don't know what the one at Tokyo is going to look like. I just sent it to you, but like the one at Hong Kong is like really good animatronic, like one of the high level ones.
Yeah, they kind of like they did the Beauty and the Beast.
Yes,
animatronic. Yeah, it's like that kind of animatronic.
Yeah, and they have the roller coaster too at the Hong Kong one. So the Tokyo one doesn't. That one is just an Anna and Elsa ride, which I don't know if we know more about the details of that one or not. And I mean, what they're building in Hong Kong is much more. I think the land is much more significant than the one at Tokyo.
Yeah, because this is being added into Disney Sea, so it's like an extension of Disney Sea. It's not a whole new land, right?
Yeah, it's almost like more of an area than a land. Whereas at Hong Kong, it's like a full-fledged land with like the ice castles there, the full Arendelle castles there. You have the full city or town or kingdom, whatever, of Arendelle is built at Hong Kong, but at Disney. And listen, the difference is Hong Kong was a little bit. I don't want to say it was a little sparse, but Hong Kong was basically
they have
just
the space.
Yeah, it's different. It's just different, right? So, so the animatronic there's, but I wish at Frozen Ever After at Epcot they would upgrade to the better animatronics, but
maybe they will. I mean, might be on the roadmap.
Maybe they'll refurb at some point and upgrade it, But, at the time that they put those Anna and Elsa figures in there, that was the top of the line, right? Like that was, and they probably won't replace it until it's time to replace it. So,
yeah. And, don't get me wrong. Like the one in Epcot, it's not a bad ride. It's just, like you said,
Maelstrom.
well, I mean, I liked Maelstrom, but even outside of that, like you said, it was kind of a an unfortunate subject of bad timing.
Sure,
because the Maelstrom redo, people didn't like that, but then they did these animatronics which were okay, and then it felt like immediately after. I know there was like some time between when those animatronics came out and then these new ones, but then when you saw the new ones, it was like, oh wow, like these are way better. Like the facial expressions and everything are just so much better on these newer ones. And unfortunately, it makes you look back at the one in Epcot and kind of go, like
I mean, like even when you go on something like the Journey of the Little Mermaid, right? Like the Ariel figure and the Ursula figures are incredible in that.
Yes,
ride,
they
right?
are.
Like they're really just the real looking skin and like the facial expression, like way better than what you have at Frozen Ever After, right? But like again, at the time, that was what it was, right? So, I mean, it's. I know people were upset about the Maelstrom thing, right? But like, let's be honest, right? Disney obviously made the right decision there, because you went from a ride that had a 5-minute wait time pretty much all the time to a ride that now is one of the most popular rides at the parks, one of the longest wait times. So like, it's sad that the Maelstrom went away, but at the same time, from Disney's point of view, they made the right decision, right? Like,
I mean, I'll admit, the first time I went to Florida, I didn't even know there was a ride there.
The Maelstrom? Yeah.
Like it took me a while to figure it. And then I was like, oh, there's a ride back here. and then I was happy that I found it. But
it was one of those hidden gem things, right? Like it was one of those like quirky Disney Epcot things that you don't see a lot anymore, right? But at the same time, it's like it was never it's Figment. It's 5 minutes. If it was busy, then you knew the park was busy that day. One of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So
and now it's busy all the time. So.
And now it's just busy all the time, and you can't, And I also have one of the best ride photos I've ever gotten at Disney from that ride. So of my daughter's terrified face. So anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, Trevor. I think we're at a good place to wrap her up.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, as usual, if you guys want to reach out to us, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. If you ever have questions or you want to share your own trip reports, stuff like that, we love to see it. So keep it coming. And if you want to follow us on social media, you can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast. Same thing on YouTube. Instagram is Welcome Home Pics. If you are on Facebook, make sure you check out Welcome Home Disney Waitlist. We talked about it earlier. It's a great group where we have lots of our listeners posting memes and discussions, people asking questions about their own trips and just, generally sharing Disney knowledge, which, I think that's what all of us want from this is, just a place to talk Disney with other people that want to talk Disney. So, check out our Facebook group. And if you'd like to help support the show, go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com and check out our different merchandise there. We got t-shirts and mugs and all kinds of stuff. Maybe you need some stuff for your next trip that, go have a look on the store. And, it just helps. It helps support the show and helps us keep things running.
And our limited edition shirt is coming out soon too. So
yes, yeah, we will have a limited edition shirt coming soon. So keep an eye out for that.
David posted the picture in the group, so if you want to know what it's going to look like, go look at it.
Yeah. So if you haven't joined the group, that's another reason to join the group is you'll see stuff like that.
Yep.
And also, in the same vein of helping to support the show, we do have a Patreon. So you can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod and check out our different levels of support that come with exclusive merchandise that only Patreon supporters get. And it'll also get you access to our Discord server, which is another place that we love to talk with our listeners. And yeah, we do share things like, previews of our upcoming shirts and things that we're working on. So if that seems interesting to you, please check it out. Last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. It does help more people find the show because of how the internet and algorithms and all that fun stuff works. So, just leave us a review if you got a couple of minutes. And on iTunes, if you want to write us a review, we love to see those. We love to hear what you guys think about the show. So, keep those coming. We do read them on the show here. So,
yeah, and I don't remember if I read this one or not, but I feel like I'm going to read it again, I guess.
If you start reading it, I can tell you because I remember the one from last week.
Well, this one is DL Miller 14, great group and fun to listen to. Found this podcast back in March. Do you remember that?
Yes.
No?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Did I read that one?
You did.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What about love this podcast? Been listening for a while now. All the hosts have their own opinions and it's genuine. We'll keep listening. One day, make a meetup. From Vegas Joe.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So I did read that.
That's a new one.
Okay. So love the podcast. Been listening a while now. All hosts have their own opinions and it's genuine. We'll keep listening and one day make a meetup. Okay. Thanks, Vegas Joe. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Hope you can. We were talking about it earlier. We need to make more meetups too. It's
listen, I need to actually have a trip to Disney.
Yeah. Well, yeah, ours is still a ways out, not until February. And then, past that, we do need to figure out more times to schedule this or schedule getting to Disney, which, but because we are in such different time zones and all that,
it's challenging.
It can be challenging, but we're going to keep trying.
I'm going to tell a story really quickly, just that's off topic. But so my wife and I, the other day, I was sitting on the couch and I was doing I'm in graduate school. So I was doing schoolwork for graduate school. On my laptop sitting on the couch and my wife was reading a book, right? So we were just sitting there and typically I'm the type of person, I've talked about this before, I'm very ADD. I like to, if I'm doing something, I like to have something else going on in the background. I can't just sit in silence. I like, music playing or something. And I like to play instrumental music when I'm trying to concentrate. And so, and you probably know where this is going. So I go on YouTube Music, and I find the Epcot entrance music, right? Just the newer one, right? And the one I found in particular was a video, and it had, Spaceship Earth all lit up. And they had like fake fireworks going on in the background as we were listening to the music. And at one point I just look over and I see my wife, and she's just, and it's just the same animation over and over. Right. And it's just Spaceship Earth lit up, and they have like it's still when the tombstones were out front, and like the lights in the pavement, and so those are lighting up, and it just looks really pretty. It's a, really cool nighttime scene. And I just catch my wife just staring at it, just like watching it. And I said to her, I was like, what are you doing? It's just like an animation of fireworks. And she's like, I know. She's like, I just miss it. Like it just was funny how that kind of manifested itself. I know you listen to park music sometimes too, Trevor. So I thought you'd appreciate that. So
yeah, all the time for the same reason. It's just it takes me back there because we don't get there enough.
Yeah, no, I mean, like that's what it is, man. So like we really missed out on it this year, and I mean, we're still going to try to do that day trip to Magic Kingdom. It's at some point the week of Thanksgiving, but still haven't planned it yet. So we're gonna work on that. But I just thought that was kind of funny because it's just one of those things. It's the same reason people watch the resort, the old resort loop from the hotels. There's that whole YouTube channel where you can just sit there and listen to the music playing and watch the park times go by and stuff. I used to love watching that in the morning. I was kind of sad that went away, but
sorry, just I'll throw in mine real quick that I found this one earlier in the year, and like around like I want to say springtime, because when I have trouble sleeping, like I'll go looking for like YouTube videos that do like thunderstorms or waves and like that kind of stuff. I did actually find one that was somebody got on the monorail during a storm, and there was like nobody else on the monorail. And and so it was a full loop around on the monorail. And then they turned it into like an 8-hour loop thing. So it's like, it keeps looping obviously, but,
that's amazing.
It was very cool because it's not just the sound of the rain and everything. You also hear, every once in a while the stop and the, please stand clear of the doors.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Yeah, right. Which, yeah, to that end, it's, the same thing is, it's very calming, very like, yeah, I can just sit here and listen to this because, you get the rain, but then also that little bit of Disney in it as well.
Yeah, no, it's like you're going to your happy place, right? It's like, yeah,
exactly.
That's what it is. So just to get back to what we're doing. Don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. All new episodes going forward are on YouTube and on YouTube Music. So go check that out as well. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company. And as such, all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please consult with a Disney cast member or a DVC cast member for more information about anything that we talked about today. Huge thank you to our sponsors, DVC Rental Store, for sponsoring this episode, and of course World of DVC for continuing to be a supporter of the show. Please go check them out for any of your DVC or really non-DVC related needs. They're a really great company to work with, and that have been a great supporter of the show over the years. So join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit its hair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl.